Living at Your Finest with Dr. Babs. Happy Wednesday, happy Wellness Wednesday, and happy new month. We're in the month of March. The third month of the year seems like it's moving along pretty nicely. And it's also Women's Month, so a lot to be grateful for this year. So I'm glad that you're here with me today. Thanks for investing in your health by watching. We have some juicy topic today, a topic that is so dear to my heart when we talk about being our own best advocate. So I am talking about this for several reasons. A lot of people don't like going to the doctor just because of just the experience. They feel rushed. Um, they feel like they're not listened to. They feel that what they have to say doesn't matter. But that is on the contrary. We are our own best advocate. And so we want to change that narrative where people feel comfortable to go to the doctor because it's about our health. We know ourselves the best. So today I want to empower you with information that would help you feel more at ease and allow you to make those appointments. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how to figure out, the doctors that you want that will be best suitable for you, how to prepare, and what to do while you are in the clinic. But for those that don't know me, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Dolapo Babalola, aka Dr. Babs. I am a family physician, I'm a health and a fitness coach, and I am the founder of Living at Your Finest company. My true passion is to apply a fun, fundamental and faith-based framework to help women to live at their finest holistic health so that they're empowered to nourish their bodies and just feel just strong all together and empowered to be health champions. And I do this by just sharing lessons learned from my own personal journey as well as my extensive background. And it's all educational, informational purposes only. I am not even though I'm a family physician, I am not your doctor. So I'm not privy to your own specific needs. So this does not constitute a patient-doctor relationship. But thanks for tuning in. Let's get started. Let's talk about what you need to know to get you ready for your next appointment. All right, so we're going to start off by looking at the overview. As I mentioned, we are going to take a look at those steps that we need to take while selecting a doctor, preparing for our doctor's visit, as well as questions to ask during our doctor's visit. And the first aspect we're going to talk about is how do you select a good doctor? So to select a good doctor, you have to first of all know what your needs are. What do you need? Do you need a doctor that's going to tell you everything that you are supposed to do? Or do you also want to walk hand in hand with your doctor? So you want to inquire by asking for referrals, from friends and family. What do you think about your doctors? A lot of my patients, I have several generation patients. I have the daughter, the grandmother, the mother, and it's all by referral base. If they're comfortable with you, they will definitely refer you out. So definitely inquire about doctors that suit your need. Google review, that is also helpful. All the doctors have reviews online now, so you can do that, but that does not trump mouth-to-mouth referral. You want to inquire about their practice. So what do I mean by that? How many people, practitioners are in the practice? Are you going to see just the same doctor for continuity of care? Are you somebody that it matters to you if you're with the same doctor? Or it doesn't matter if there's several people in the practice and you can see one doctor to the other. Now, most people prefer to have one doctor so they know everything about them and it's just the continuity of care that is enhanced. You want to inquire about labs. Do they have labs in the practice? Do they have their own pharmacy? Do you have to send your prescriptions to another pharmacy? You want to make all those inquiries. You also want to inquire about insurances. So what is accepted? Not all insurance is accepted at different locations. You can call your insurance and inquire which would be the most suitable practice for you so that you don't get a hefty bill because it's out of network. You also want to inquire about opening hours. So do they have opening hours that work for your schedule? If you're working, a busy mom, a busy dad, do they have extended hours? Do they have weekends? So those are all the important information that you need to inquire that will set you up for success. Now, what else do we have in terms of getting ourselves well prepared for our doctor's visit? Planning for the visit. Now, this is so vital. When you're planning for your visit, I know that sometimes it feels like you're rushed, but they say always that failure to prepare is planning to fail. So, the way for you to set yourself up for success is to plan ahead. So before that visit, you want to make sure that you make the right visit. So there's several visit types. There are physical examination visits, there are sick visits, there are follow-up visits. So you want to make sure that if you're trying to get a health screening, ask for a health screening. If you're trying to get a full body physical, ask for a full body physical. If it's just a follow-up appointment, make sure that it's very clear when you're booking the appointment, which kind of appointment you're booking, so that there's no disappointment. You also want to make sure that you write your questions down. I love when my patients come with their questions because it encourages me that yes, this person is very serious about their health. So contrary to what you think, I know there are probably a few doctors that just feel really rushed and it feels like they don't want to hear your questions. But if you're very clear from the beginning what your goals are for the visit, it really does help to streamline that visit. So write your questions down. Take your medications. Please take your medications. Bring your medications with you. Medicines that you're taking, don't say, oh, I don't know. I can't remember what it is. It's on my counter. No, it's not going to do any good if it's on the counter. Now, I know that if you're used to a practical practice, your medications are in the chart. But again, if anything has changed, it's always best that you bring your medication bottle with you just to make sure that there hasn't been any problems, any side effects, any change of doses. It always helps a whole lot if you bring your medications along with you. So not just medications, but records. Of course, if you're changing one doctor to the other, or if you're seeing a specialist, if it's not integrated within the medical records, which is a question you should always ask when you're booking the appointment, that, okay, well, maybe you were seen at Wellstar, now you're going to Kaiser. Do the systems integrate? Am I going to need to bring my records? Am I going to need to sign a release medical record? It really does save a whole lot of time that when you're in the clinic and then they need to have you sign off a medical record so that they can get your record. So if you can do that before the visit, it definitely helps a whole lot. Now, not just records, also, you want to inquire about, am I needing to fast before my appointment? Because they might be doing some blood work, especially if you're coming for a full physical. You might need to fast, and you don't want to lose out that whole time because you didn't inquire and you came and you had breakfast and you didn't get labs done. So those are very important questions that you should ask. Now, while you at the visit, very important, during your doctor's visit, you want to make sure that you listen and you ask the right questions. Of course, you've written down your questions, what you want to inquire, what the issues are. So listen to what the doctor how the questions they're asking you, in terms of the history, asking you pertinent questions when it comes to examination, and then ask your questions. Very important that you have them clarify what the treatment plan is. Don't say, oh, you're the doctor, you know best. No, they're just there to help. They're assisting, they're guiding. They don't live in your body, you live in your body. So you want to ask the questions about what are the side effects what are the potential side effects to medication that you're taking? How long am I expected to see a change? There are tons of questions that you want to make sure you're clear about before you leave, because once you leave and then you're trying to call back, that's already time wasted. So ask the right questions, make sure it's very clear about when your follow-up appointment is going to be. If you're getting blood work done, inquire about why you're getting the blood work done and how you're going to get the results. A lot of clinics have the EMR integrated with the lab results, so you might get a pass like my chart. You could get an access where you can get your results. So you want to inquire about what's the timeline to getting my results, and if I haven't heard, what do I do? Some places have the policy where if you haven't heard from me or your results are normal, that in my opinion is not the best way. You always want to at least know what your results are. So inquire about what those policies are for the practice. All right, now let's take a look at some of the health screen that I really would love for you to be conversant with. Let's look at, if we start off with Blood work. Okay, so here are some of the labs that I want you to be familiar with, and you could get them from time to time, depending on what's going on. If you're coming for a full body physical, and depending on your age, you might need to get some of these blood work on the left-hand side. So CBC is just making sure you're not anemic. Some of these are checking for infection. So these tests, and then of course the urine, if there's anything going on with your urine, pregnancy tests, stool exams, stool test. These are a little bit more advanced, but the most common ones that you tend to get when you come for a full body physical, an annual physical, will be checking you for female if you're anemic. You could get, kidney, liver checked in a comprehensive metabolic panel. Obviously, cholesterol will also be checked, especially if there's been some weight gain over the years, if there's a family history of high cholesterol. These are things, and these ones, they typically will ask you to come fasting. All right, cardiac enzyme is only if there's a heart problem going on acutely. A1C is also a very important one that tends, but you don't need to fast for this. But of course, if you're getting the cholesterol, you probably will be told to fast. A1C checks for sugar. And if you have diabetes, this will be monitored anywhere between 3 to 6 months. So you always want to inquire from your doctor what is expected. These are just hormones. If you have any symptoms that are suggestive of thyroid issues, they could check for your TSH. Now, immunology is more for if there's rheumatoid arthritis, if there are lots of joint issues, and of course, hepatitis is just checking for hepatitis if there's ever any exposure. Toxicology is if you've ever been exposed to any toxins. So that's for that. Another one that I would like to share are the health screening that we need to have done. All right, so let's go to the health screening. Health screening. So you always want to make sure, well, sorry, let me put this down very quickly so it doesn't block. It might have been blocked. It might have blocked what I had early on. So let me do that again. My apologies. All right, let's get that so it's showing. Okay, so I'm going to show this again. I think it might have. All right, so this is basic screenings. So 21 and above, pap smears, you do that until 65. For mammograms, there are several guidelines to follow, but most common one, will be 40 and above. Lung cancer, if there's a history of smoking, moles and skin check anywhere from 21 and above. Now, of course, colonoscopy, that's checking for colon cancer. This is anywhere between, it's here 50, but they're considering cutting back the age to 45. Prostate, you just have to have that one-on-one conversation with your doctor. Now, this is also including questions about flu shots, pneumonia shots, DEXA scan. So that's why you want to have that one-on-one conversation with your doctor. Very, very important. I'm going to go back and show you those lab work because I think my screen might have blocked it. So let me show that to you very quickly again. Okay, right. So let me show this. So this is what I was talking about, the laboratory request, the hematology CBC, just making sure you're not anemic. The chemistry is checking for electrolytes, checking for sodium, potassium, making sure your kidney functions are working well, looking for sugar. A1C is what I mentioned. This must have been blocked, so you didn't see it earlier on. Hormones, the TSH, if there's any thyroid issues. So these are labs you want to make sure that your doctor explains very clearly what is needed for you. All right, so that is it. We've talked about selecting your doctor, planning for the visit, as well as while you're at the visit. So what is our reflection? So I love this saying by Maya Angelou. She said, I learned a long time ago, the wisest thing I can do is to be my own side, to be an advocate for myself and others like me. So important that we need to be our own advocate. I know that we I've been frustrated myself, and that's why I'm so passionate about this. Before I became a medical doctor, even before I went to medical school, I felt rushed being seeing my doctor. I felt like I wasn't listened to, and I vouched that I wasn't going to be that kind of doctor. And I love it now when I have patients advocate for themselves. They come with their list, they're well informed, they're really passionate about what I'm doing, and it really helps, me as the doctor to be equipped and be on my toes. So I want to just encourage us all that we need to be out and advocate, ask those questions, do the research, as I mentioned, make sure, as we talked about, do that research before you go, plan your visit appropriately, and while you're at your visit, make sure that you ask those questions. Don't leave any leave unturned, and make sure that you inquire about what your follow-up appointments are going to be. So what's our call to action? Call to action is that I want you to be empowered that the next visit you have, you do not leave feeling unsatisfied. You want to be satisfied. You want to. It's your health, and you know yourself best. So I hope that this has been valuable for you. I hope that you've picked one or two things that you're going to do at your next visit, and ensure that you make it the best visit, because you deserve it. You deserve to live at your finest holistic health, because it's just one life you get, and you got to live it well. Thanks for staying tuned. If you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe so that you don't miss any health related videos. Of course, leave a comment and share with others. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Take care. God bless.